at the city council, you've taken an oath. Before you did take an oath when you started your office, right?
Yeah.
To uphold the U.S. and the California constitutions. Okay? Article 1, Section 1 of the California Constitution says that we, residents of California, have inalienable rights to privacy and safety. You have to protect those things. Cell phone towers, 15 to 50 feet from people's homes, threatens and violates those rights for both privacy and safety. How? The minute they grab the real estate, they can come back next year and do whatever they want. No public process. You are opening up a whole avenue for people to take a large power supply already dedicated to this weapon system, which is what this ends up being. It is a crowd control and surveillance grid. You can climb that pole and put anything you want on it after you give up the real estate. You don't want to do that. They have devices that can bounce microwaves off the interior of anyone's home to determine movement inside.
Did they actually do that?
They actually do that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's right in I'm on the website. You can read it.
And I'd like to interject a little bit about the science. I mean, Hardell has done studies that it's almost, I think it's causative, much less association, cell phone use with brain tumors. Suleiman from Turkey did studies. You put a cell phone on a pregnant abdomen, there are brain changes in offspring. It opens the blood-brain barrier.
So there's science, but the part we're talking about is the infrastructure. With a cell phone, we have the choice whether to turn it on or off, whether to use it or not. It's essentially, can I smoke or not? These are the choices people make. However, when you force a proximity microwave radiation antenna at the curb, now you're forcing the exposure into people's homes. There are people who are electromagnetically sensitive, ADA rights. You cannot create an access barrier to their homes or community, and by putting these in, you are doing so.
Yeah, last weekend we had someone who came in, and I forgot her name, but her son has is very sensitive.
Ann Lee, Dr. Ann Lee. Justin came and testified in front of the youth assembly in June. We know her, okay, and he did a great job. He's telling the truth. Okay. His heart is sensitive to it, and it beats.
So why does that happen?
Because, and I did watch your interview with Dr. Ann Lee, all right, and I'm going to tell you for sure right now. You bring up a very common misconception, because you were told this when you had your first physics class. You said, oh, well, there's a big line and a difference between ionizing radiation and non-ionizing radiation. And we have to worry about that, but not about this at all. Nothing is further from the truth. You don't understand the science. It is something that has been updated by science from the 1930s forward. There's probably about 35,000 studies or more on this, okay? The bottom line is this. We're a biological system. We are electrical. Non-ionizing radiation packed with data, okay, is the problem here. Because a digital signal is off, and then it goes up very high and comes down again, and then it's off. Up very high and comes down again, and then it's off.
Sure.
Cell phone, 217 times a second. What does that mean? 434 times a second. There's an evoke potential, a large one. But what do the regulations do? They measure the average. The average is about 100 to 1,000 times lower than the peaks. Our biology reacts to the peaks. All right? It is a 13 order of magnitude difference between what our bodies operate at and what is allowed by the guidelines. 13 orders of magnitude, 10 trillion times higher. How big a number is that? If I take 10 trillion of you, I stack you one on top of the other, you will extend from Earth to the end of our solar system and back 4 times. This is what I'm telling you. This guideline is nonsensical. It is not based on science. It's something that was handed to the country by the telecom lobbyists. If you want to know the truth of the matter, we've communicated with your planning department back in May. We came down and measured your cells in downtown Palo Alto, turned on in November 2016. You will see on our site, and these are links I've already given to you months ago, and you will see that we have measured nearly 1 million megawatts per square meter on the sidewalks of Palo Alto.
Can you show me how that works real quick? Because
sure.
I have T-Mobile, be honest, it's not a very great service. So I was wondering why.
You're off the chart. The chart. Turn your phone off. Turn your iPad off.
Oh, one comment. I interviewed Swiss farmers, and they went in their animals and plants. That I've got documented.
Let me try. Let me go
Airplane mode. Everything's airplane mode. Just turn your Wi-Fi off. Just turn it off.
Let me turn it off. Let's see what happens here. Okay. Go for it.
Calm quite a bit down. Okay.
How can you tell? Is this number?
It's number, and it's also the sound.
Oh.
Okay. And so what we're measuring here are peaks that move all over the place. Okay.
So I turn this back on.
It'll go away. It'll go up. Right.
Let's see.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So that's the truth of the matter. So the point is that, look, you can choose to smoke or not smoke. That's your adult choice. Now the question is, do you force this on children?